Good morning, Sue. Good morning, crafty lady. Hi, Irma. I'm a couple minutes early. I'm just checking to make sure everything is working correctly and getting all of my goodies here. Hi, Christine. I'm going to send you guys a link. You may or may not want it. It's going to be it's in the video description as well. But we're going to talk a little bit about, before I put this box together, how I made my file so that you guys can make other shapes. Hi, Swirly. In case you want to make an odd shape box, this is a good way to learn how to design them. All right, there we go. Maybe that came through. I used a flexible ruler when I made this box, and that is the link to it, and I'll be showing that to you guys as soon as we get started. Hi, Louise. So let me play the intro and get started because I'm going to have to quickly move through this, and I apologize about that. So if you have questions, you can ask them, and I will get to them this evening when I get back. But I was called into work, so they changed the time. I have to be there at noon. They know that I may be a few minutes late, but instead of 3. So I set this up planning to go in at 3. All right, let's get started. And as always, any products that I use, you can find at several of the shops of places that I shop with, including Michael's or your local craft store. So make sure that you guys are using that link tree, and that is in the description below the video, and I will give it to you here as well in case you want to save that for future use or today's use. Let's see. So Jacqueline requested a lip shape box for some lip glosses. Now, with the curvature of this box, you're going to have to play with your lid, and what I mean by that is you're going to have to kind of, after you get it together, you're going to have to pinch these in, and this is my mock-up. I put a full white piece behind this, and it made it too thick, so I remedied that on the one that you have. We're just using a small oval piece instead of a full piece to lower that profile, but I kind of just pinched it in, and then it fits onto the top pretty well. I mean, the base pretty well. And you have a lip here so that it, not pun intended, so that you can see where the box starts and stops to get that lid off. Hi, Jacqueline. So this is what I came up with. I hope that this is going to work for you. But I want to show you guys a little bit about how I went about designing this box so that if you run into something like this again where you want to make an odd shape, you're able to do so. And this isn't just for her, like her lip glosses, guys. You can use this at Valentine's. How about Mother's Day with bunches of Hershey Kisses in it? How cute would that be with a bunch of Hershey Kisses? Love, 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 love the box. So I'm glad you guys are liking it too. Let's pop over. So as I explained a couple weeks ago on how to do this, you're just going to decide how deep you want your box to be and how deep you want your lid to be. Now, if you got this file before I attach these, you can resave it or you can position the pieces in there. That's all I did was add those pieces. I rotated them so that they would cut on one sheet of paper. Okay. So the first thing that I did, guys, is I got the lip file that I wanted to use. And then I decided how wide I wanted that to be. And I think this ends up being about 6 inches, right at 6 inches wide. So I determined that. How did I design and decide how long these pieces needed to be to wrap around that box? Because that's not a straight line. And we know that without it being a straight line, it's got some curvature in there. So it's got to be actually longer than 6 inches, right? It's not going to fit around it at the 6 inch mark. So you can't just say, okay, this is 6 inches wide. I'm going to make that 6 inches long. Doesn't calculate that way. So what I did is I put in the lip piece and I just cut one. I contoured out the base pieces because we only need this one top decorative piece to cut. And while I'm thinking about that, in this layout, these two on the top are your base pieces, and the two that cut here are your lid pieces. And you can tell the lid and the base pieces on these by their height. The skinny one is the lid, of course, and the deep one is the base. So let's pop over and let me show you how I designed that. So after I cut one of these, okay, I laid it down on my mat, and you can tack it down if you want with some Tombow or whatever so that you can pick it back up. But what I did at that point, just so that it wouldn't move on me as I was working, is I traced a line around it on my work mat, okay? So then I had an outline of it, okay? I need to know which way that works. Now, you can get these at Joann's or Michael's and places like that. This is a 20 inch. I think this is a Dritz, okay? Best tool I ever bought, especially for something like this. The one that I sent you, that link for Amazon, is a Mr. Pen, and this one goes to 24 inches, okay? They are flexible rulers so that you can come in, and I just found me a starting point, like right here, and I shaped, my mouse is in the way, and so is my keyboard, and I shaped this to get me an approximation. You might have to get a little deep bend in there. And you're still going to have to do a test cut and make sure that it fits. And I come up with 7 1/4 inches. And that is what I went off for that top half piece, because I could flex that and see where it landed. And it has centimeters on the other side if you want to use it. And then I just went around this way, so I've got my inches on this side so that I can see them, around the base, and it came up to just about, I think it was 6 5/8 or something like that. Okay, so that gave me a starting point on how long I needed those pieces to be. So then I went in and made my strips from that. And then I test cut to make sure that they fit. And you can adjust from that point. But having that flexible ruler for something like this is really handy, because it takes out a lot of the guesswork. Because I could have started with 8 inches and had to keep chopping it down and keep maneuvering the size of it. Or I could give myself a starting point. And they're very inexpensive. They're under $10 for these rulers. Under $10. Not a big deal. So right here, and that's how I came up with my length. And then of course I just made my tabs and welded them on. And after I cut them and did my test cuts, these, because of the shape, I had a tab here, I just sliced it off because I didn't need it. It was actually in the way and stuck out a little bit. So you can tell which one, I'm trying to think which one goes on the top, which one goes on the bottom. But the one with this missing is the top. This is your top piece. And you can tell by the score lines too. The score lines go into the Cupid's bow area. So it's very easy to keep it all straight. Very simple file. Then I simply added an oval to go behind the opening of the decorative top. And you can do this out of glitter paper, whatever it is that you want to make it out of. Super easy and simple file. Okay? Was very, very easy to design. So let's pop over and put one together. And that's my base piece. my base. So here we are. We have the base pieces, and you're simply going to fold on your score here. And this one doesn't have the score down the center. Just going to fold all my tabs over. And I'm going to use a tape runner for time purposes today, guys. Like I said, I got called in earlier than expected. Hi, Kathy. And then take your piece and kind of give it a pull between your fingers and get some curvature into it. Okay? And then this piece, this is the top piece for the base. Got a score right down the middle. You're going to fold that in a valley fold. Everything else is mountain. And then we're going to fold all those tabs over. And make sure that you're folding your tabs over really well on that score line. You can even bump your score line down just a little hair. And I'm just trying to get some of those little notches to lay down on there. I'm just taking my fingernail. And then again, you're going to pull, but you're going to hold it at the score line. And you're going to get some curve in there by pulling on that. And then the other side as well. Alright, so that you have some curvature going. Then we're going to take, these are the same size for your base. They are the exact same size. I tried making one a little bit smaller. Didn't like the look of it. So what we're going to do is we are going to run this around the base. Just like so on the back side. So I'm just going to lay my, you can use glue, you can use tape runner, whatever it is you want to use. And I just ran my tape runner around. For me, this was easier, and if you want to go back and add glue as well, you can. And I put my texture to my paper's textured, so I put it to the inside. We're just going to glue those tabs down around the base. This is much easier and much simpler than glue as well. But I will use glue to put the top on. That way they get sealed in there good. Okay. So nice little fit there. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to do the same thing. Oops. Make sure you put it on the, yeah. I almost put it on the right side. You want to put it to the inside piece, not the outside. I guess it doesn't matter. It depends on, it's just easier to work around this piece and put the piece on the bottom than it is to try to line it up on top of one. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And we want to flip it over and put our tape runner on this tab here. And we're going to line this up right here. And that's why we don't have a tab. Now I've got a little tick right there on the lip. And that's the shape of this box. I just snipped it off, guys. So it's not in the way. And you can get it smoother. But that's why I don't have a tab here. I didn't want that double thickness there. And then you're just going to lay this down. Walk it around. Just press those tabs in. Hey, Mary Lou. All right, and I forgot to put my tape runner on that tab, didn't I? And of course, you're going to glue these tabs, guys, because they do have a little bit of stress on them. And see how I missed a couple of tabs there with my tape runner? But it's okay. you're basically just getting everything lined up and set. And now you can take your glue. If I can get my glue to come out of the bottle. I thought I had it upside down long enough to get it to run in, but I guess not. And then I'm just going to go around on top of these tabs. So if any of them are popping up, it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. They're going to stay in place after this. And then you're going to take your base piece and place it right on there. Just get it lined up really good. And remember I said because of the shape of the box, it's got that weird little point right there. I just snip those off because you're never going to get that to work exact on there every time. It's just not going to happen. So just snip them off. Not going to hurt anything. And that is the base. And then for the lips, and I'm just, again, going to use some tape runner here just to hold that down till we glue it. And I'm going to place that oval on there so that it covers all of the holes. And you can use some sparkle in here too. That is the top. And again, same thing with this piece. The one with the score down the center, of course, goes on the top of the lip. And the one without the score in the middle goes on the bottom. And you're just going to fold that one in half or on the score. And the same thing you want to, and that tab is not shaped that way. I had a boo-boo on my Cricut. It drugged my paper. So I had to kind of cut that one wonky. It's not like that in the file. And again, you want to curve it. Get some curve going. And this one goes on here. Oh yeah. So we're gonna go. I have to check it to make sure I'm putting my tape runner on the right pieces on the right side. Yep. All right, same thing. I'm going to flip it over and put some tape runner on that tab. And this is the inside of my box. So I want my texture to the inside. And you're just going, well, I like to start in the center here. Just, I don't know why, I just feel like it's a little bit easier. And then just walk it around. I guess because this one's thinner, it's not as wide as the other one. Just, oops, I'm off. Can't do that. Nope, that's right. Oh, that's right. I remember. It depends on how you assemble this. You see, mine's a little bit longer than the lip right here. Get it together, and then you can trim that off if you need to. Because I did 2 mock-ups, and the first one, it wasn't long enough. And now this is my second one, and it's too long. So, and that's why I say you have to do some test cuts, things like that. Make sure that it, I guess cardstock is going to make a difference. It was fine on this one. This one, it's a little long. Yeah, that's right there at the corner, so it is on that side, so we will fix it. Just going to open this one up and put on my tape runner. Give it a curl. Yeah, I think I made these guys a 1/2 inch or right at a 1/2 inch. No, 3/8. 3/8. Made them 3/8 of an inch. If it was a bigger box, I would have went with a 1/2 inch. A 1/2 inch is usually what I tend to stick with. And I'm just, because mine's too long, I'm just going to trim that off right there. Just trim it off even. And then we're going to put that tab on. And I tried putting the tabs together and then just running around one continuous piece. Don't do that, guys. It's such a pain. Do just like I'm doing here, and then glue your tabs at the end. It'll work out much easier for you, I promise. So, got all of those. And I forget. No, I didn't forget it. There we go. And then do these 2 end tabs at the end. It just makes life easier, trust me. But I did try gluing them end to end and walking it around and coming around these sharp corners. It just didn't work well. It was more aggravation. And again, I'm putting my glue on here. And it's going to squish between these tabs and stuff. So that's why I say just use your tape runner to get it going. And then use your glue on the end of the project. And then, of course, you're going to stick this on the top. Make sure you glue all your edges and get it glued well. I'm just putting minimal amount of glue because I'm pressed for time. And then we're going to flip it over. Give it a rub. Oops, I got tape up there too. And now I kind of squish right here. Pinch those really good. And then kind of pull this down. Don't bend it too hard. But that's going to give you a better fit on this base without a bunch of gaps. You're going to have a few gaps, but not many. Pull this in. There you go. I got a bigger gap on that one than I wanted, but that's all right. Finished. How cute. Hi, Barbara. So is everybody clear on how to make a shaped box now? Super simple and easy, right? Late to due to housework comes last. But like I said, these are not just for doing like lip glosses, but I mean it's cute for that, but you can use them for Mother's Day gifts with some kisses in there, for Valentine's. Lots of uses for this. Super easy. So guys, get yourself one of these flexible rulers, especially if you want to do shaped boxes, because you can, like I said, you can cut a piece, draw your outline, and then you can work with it and find out what the length of that piece is going to need to be for those side pieces. So you'll know. And you may have to adjust 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, but that's what your test cut is for. But this made it super, super easy. It would have taken, I think I finished this. I started it, and then I had to set it to the side, and then I picked it up, and I finished this in a couple of hours. But this is the reason why it saved me. Love, love, love. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything that you need help with? Any of your projects? Like I said, this super simple, easy project goes together really fast. Cuts on one page. You can use scraps for the white piece. So, very, very easy. You're welcome, Irma. Jacqueline, I hope this is going to work well for your lip glosses. And the link for the file is down below in the description of the video. Yes, you can use this ruler on tumblers. If you have tumblers that are not straight side, you can use this to wrap around, know what the top diameter is, what the bottom diameter is. That way you can go in on, what is the conical? There's a conical, I think it's in the group files. I have a link to it. It's a conical template maker, so that you can make your tumbler templates from that according to the size of the diameter of the base, the diameter of the top, and the height of the cup. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me use that before. I'll show it to you real quick. We have time. Yeah, this, I think it was $8.94 for the 24-inch. Let's see. Let me bring you guys over. If you go into, type in conical template maker, it'll bring you to this site, okay, where the truncated cones are, and you can work in millimeters, centimeters, or inches. And I just go to inches, and what you do is you put in your top diameter, your bottom diameter, and the height of the cup. So if it was a 7-inch tall tumbler and it was 3 inches at the bottom, which that's probably very small, and say 5 inches at the top, my Grammarly is in my way, and 5 inches at the top here, you can see that it makes that template maker for you, and then you can download it as an SVG or for Cricut, whatever you want to do, and then create. And you can donate if you like, but it's just going to download it, and then right here you have it, and then you can bring it into Design Space, and you have your template for your tumblers. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline, for that super chat. Appreciate that. And so that ruler is really going to help you. That ruler is going to help you with your designs, no matter what you're designing, especially when it's curved or round, things like that. It really helps. When we're working in straight lines, super easy. We all have a ruler, right? So you just need to, let me see if I can bring this in. Just going to drag it, and it comes in like this as lines because it's just a template. And there you go. So I kind of attach everything here, but that gives you your template, your midline, the top, the bottom of the tumbler. You can come in here and rotate it around. If I can get my, there we go. So that you can work on it. So now you have a template, and you can get, I forgot to put in there, but it does have a tab on there, a glue tab. So if you want to leave a tab where you overlap, whatever, for your sublimation, you can do that. And you can change, you can remove this center line in here, and you can change these all. They're all set to cut lines, so you would need to remove those. Change them to score, whatever, if you're using paper, but if you're cutting from vinyl, that kind of thing. Super easy to use. But right here is your glue flap. You can change that. If you want it to be a 1/2 inch, you can make it a 1/2 inch. It will add all of that stuff for you. Super, super easy. Good deal, Sharon. Yay! I'm glad you guys are learning something today. Right. Exactly, Barbara. You can use this for so many different things. That ruler is well worth it. What is it, $9? So well worth it. It will save you a lot of headaches on a lot of different things. Shaped boxes, tumblers, like you said, tumblers, lots of different stuff. But that is how I showed you guys. I walked you through it. I just simply cut one shape, and then I used the ruler, and then I made my lines. I had to decide about which tabs to cut away and things like that, where they overlap. But that's what your mock-up is for. I use a lot of color paper that I won't use for anything else that I just don't care for the color for, or either craft paper. You can use many things to do your mock-ups on, and that way you're not using your pretty papers and the things that you do like to do your mock-ups on. And I did do this one with 80-pound cardstock, so if you're using glitter paper or shimmer paper or something like that, you may need to tweak it a little bit, okay? So I did this with 80-pound cardstock. The link is down below, Sharon, if you need it, in the video description. Here it. No, that's not it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. And this is an affiliate link. Oops, that's not going to work. Let me try it this way. There we go. There it is. That's an affiliate link for that ruler. Can you use a Cricut Joy for this file? Let me see what size the pieces are, Jacqueline. You should be able to. It's not going to score now. But you really don't need a score on this because you can see where to fold your tabs. You don't really, guys, you really can take the score lines off of these. I just have them on here for you for reference. But you can take them off because we all know that these tabs are going to fold here. And then right at the end of where you're squared off is where your tabs are. So, super easy. And the ruler is right here too in this file. That is 5.9 inches wide and 3.174 high. So yeah, turned at a 90-degree angle. Those will work. So you can get all of those in. And these are 1.389 high with the tabs and 725 long. You can cut 7 inches long on a Joy, can't you? I don't use my Joy enough. I can't remember. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can cut this on a Joy because the longest piece is not even 8 inches long. And I think I have a 12-inch strip for Joy, a 12-inch mat, 4x12. So yeah, everything should fit on your Joy. The link for the tumbler template? Sure. Let me. And I have donated to the owner of that template maker, so if you guys use it enough, please donate to them. A lot of hard work can go in that. Yeah, 12-inch mat. I thought so. I think it's 4. Is it 4 1/4 by 12, or is it just 4 by 12? 4.5 by 12. I can't remember my width. I know you can go up to 12 because I have the mat, but I can't remember the width of the mat. Is it 6? I don't use it enough. I don't use it enough to remember. All right, guys. And I'm sorry that this is a short video, but like I said, I got called in. I was supposed to go in at 3, and I set that's why 3 to 8, and I was set the live for 11 a.m. to accommodate for you guys. And then this morning I woke up and they were asking me to come in at noon. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions, please, please, please. And thank you again, Jacqueline, for that super chat. Greatly appreciate that. Awesome, awesome. Enjoy the box, and you can enlarge it, guys. If you want to make it bigger, just make sure you leave everything attached there or grouped and size it all together. And include that little oval for underneath. So make sure you group it all and size everything together if you want to make it larger. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. You guys have a wonderful day. I am going to try to be live tomorrow. And Sue sent me a thing for a wreath, and I'm going to try to get my mock-up done tonight, and then I will announce, and we will go live sometime tomorrow afternoon or evening. I'm shooting for 7 o'clock, but can't promise it. May go a little bit earlier, maybe around 5, but we're going to do a cute little wreath, and I will get photos up as soon as I get my mock-up done, and you guys can see it. And I will give you a recipe list so that you can go to Michael's over the weekend and get the stuff to make them with. So, be watching for that announcement. And I'm sorry that I have to announce on short notice, but my schedule is a little bit wonky right now. Some things are going on and waiting on the new schedule, things like that. All right. Have a wonderful day. Catch you guys tomorrow.